back to the channel. Welcome to another episode of TEW 2020 WWE here as we continue today with the go-home shows heading into our next October premium live event specials, Halloween Havoc for Smackdown NXT and the Purge for Raw. Also a side note that it is somehow episode 99 of this series. God knows how I've made 99 of these, but thank you on the support throughout. Halloween Havoc and the Purge are episode 100, so that's fun. That's fun. We're on episode 99 for now. The go-home shows heading into those premium live events specials. And so without further ado, let's just jump right into it, shall we? Into these hopefully very good shows. Kicking things off as always with another edition of Monday Night Raw, which starts right in the action. And it starts with a match. Yeah. Between Andrade and Chad Gable. Last week, Angel Garza and Drew McIntyre fought, and so I thought we'd kick things off with Andrade and Chad Gable. Of course, those four men in the Intercontinental Championship match at the Purge. And so I thought, hey, let Andrade and Gable have a go at each other. They've had banging matches in the past, very good in ring. And in the end here, Gable and Andrade just go full speed. A quick, fast start to the show. Exactly what the fans want, you know. They both want to be Intercontinental Champions, Intercontinental title for workhorses, for people who are going to steal that show, and these boys want to do that. Put on a very good work in the end. Chad Gable locks the ankle lock onto Andrade. Andrade trying to get to the rope but can't quite get there. He nearly doesn't. Gable pulls him back to the middle of the ring. You know, Gable just holding onto that leg. But out of nowhere, last shot by Adam Cole, taking Gable down. The referee calling for the disqualification. Chad Gable picking up a DQ win here for 88, which is pretty decent. You know, it was under 15 minutes, so it was capped at 90 anyway, so we take that. But yeah, Adam Cole and Finn Balor, the Raw Tag Champs, beat down on Gable. Andrade back to his feet and joins in. 96 Andrade, 94 Gable. They go 20 minutes, this gets in the 90s, clearly. But yeah, Gable getting attacked, getting beat down, and that is when rushes out MJF and Matt Riddle. The unlikely partnership that's formed, rush down to the ring to help Gable fight off Andrade. Cole and Balor, of course. Cole and Balor fighting Riddle and MJF at the Purge for 100. Big brawl, setting up a 6-man tag team match. Next up, Andrade, Adam Cole and Finn Balor of Triple H's Chosen, taking on Chad Gable, Matt Riddle and MJF. A little preview for the Purge, a couple of matches there, and also just hopefully a banger 6-man tag, all the men getting to show what they can do, all getting to fight it out. But in the end, it is Adam Cole hitting Chad Gable with a Panama Sunrise and getting the all-important 1, 2, 3. As Triple H's Chosen pick up the win heading into the Purge for a 99, near perfect. 96 Cole, 96 Riddle, 94 Gable, 95 Andrade, 88 Balor, 85 MJF. All doing well, but in the end it is Triple H's Chosen who get the win to kick things off on Raw here and build that momentum. Cole and Balor heading into their match with MJF and Matt Riddle, and Andrade heading into that Fatal 4-Way match for the Intercontinental Championship, of course. But yeah, 99, can't ask for a much better start to the show than that rating-wise, can you? As then we go backstage and we go to the students at Chase U, and we have Andre Chase, and the students are talking to him. They're trying to convince him, because there tonight Andre Chase has a match with Damian Priest. And they're trying to convince him, Bodhi Hayward kind of leading to charge, you know, Mr. Chase, you don't have to do this, okay? It's not a smart idea. Edge's enough face, still banged up. Andre Chase says, okay, listen here, students, take a seat, take a seat. They'll sit down at their desks. Andre Chase says, this is a teachable moment, okay? That when the bullies think they're bigger and they're tougher, and they want to knock you and beat you down, you have to stand up to them and you have to say, no. You have to stay tall and say no. You have to say, we are mother Chase University, and we will not back down, and we will not be made to feel weak or inferior. And so I'm going to go out there and I'm going to kick Damian Priest's for a 32. The Chase U students end up cheering him on as they march out of the little school setup, ready back to go to Raw for their big match. Andre Chase, Damian Priest later tonight. 32 for that. Good, Chase U. It's just fun. The fun segments don't get the fun ratings, but I don't care because they're fun. speaking of fun segments, we then go backstage, knock on the door at Drake Maverick's office. You know, he's busy, but he says, come in. And in walks R-Truth, Luigi board in hand, and Akira Tozawa. And Drake says, Truth, I ain't got time for this. I'm working, I'm busy, I got stuff to do, okay? And R-Truth says, just hold on, okay? Drake, you know, I got Akira here. I got you here because you guys my friends, and you guys understand how important my baby is, okay? The 9/11, not Jesus Christ. The 7-Eleven. Oh God. I'm not even going to try and finish that. I don't want to say that again. Oh my God. Oh, this derailed the segment quickly. R-Truth asking Drake for help. Drake said, Truth, you know, I'm busy. I got so much work to do and so much stress. The Purge coming up. And R-Truth begging Drake Maverick, please, okay? Help me do this. I need to get my baby back. And Drake says, okay, what do we got to do? R-Truth says, we got to use the Luigi board. And Drake's just like, okay, Truth. You, me, and Akira can go and use the Ouija board. And R-Truth says, what's that? Drake Maverick says, the Ouija board, you're holding it. He looks down at it. Oh, you mean the Luigi board? Drake says, we can use the Luigi board. R-Truth says, okay, why didn't you just say that? Why are you making up words for Drake? Come on, come on. For 53, God, that segment got derailed a lot earlier than I was expecting. Oh my God. Jesus Christ. 53 though. That's good, right? Oh, R-Truth, Akira and Drake Maverick will be using the Luigi board later. And R-Truth will solely be calling the championship his baby from now on, and he will not be attempting any other names or numbers for it, because my God. We go to Kayla Braxton. We stay backstage, and Kayla Braxton interviewing Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler making his return last week. Kayla asking about where he's been, what's he back for, and Dolph says that he's been away, getting ready and training and preparing to come back after that attack from people he thought were his friends, Robert Roode and James Storm. And maybe it was a good thing. Maybe it helped him remember who he is. Dolph Ziggler. That's who he is. He's not a dirty dog. He's Dolph Ziggler. He's DZ. He's here to show the world again, once again, who he is. And Dolph said that starts tonight against James Storm, and then at the Purge, I can purge the demons I've been carrying around with me against Robert Roode for a 60. Yeah. Just a nice, simple little interview. Dolph explains why he's back, what he's here for, and he's ready for those matches. As then we have a match advertised last week. It is the Women's World Champion Io Sky taking on Zoe Stark, friend and partner of Alexa Bliss, her opponent for the Purge. Alexa Bliss at ringside, of course. Zoe Stark putting up a good fight, or as good a fight she can manage, but in the end, it is, of course, the Women's World Champion, the Kingpin Io Sky, who picks up the win for 71, which is decent. 82 Io, 55 Zoe. They're doing okay. You're doing well. Io hits the big moonsault and gets the win. Alexa straight into the ring after the match, though, to check on Zoe, and then standing up to go face to face as her and Io stare down. Io, women's world title over her shoulder, Alexa, and her just staring down for an 84. Good. Good. Hopefully a good match. I think the previous one was a good match between the pair at SummerSlam, so hopefully this one between Io and Alexa will also be good. Fingers crossed for that one, eh? But for now, we continue on with just a little promo from Gunther, Ludwig Kaiser, and Giovanni Vinci, Imperium. And they're ready for the, they're ready for the Diamond Mine. Ludwig Kaiser and Giovanni Vinci say they are ready for the Creed brothers on NXT. Say they call themselves students of the game. Well, it's time for them to get a lesson in the respect they should have in that ring for Ludwig Kaiser and Giovanni Vinci. And then Gunther saying then he will teach a lesson in respect to the Cruiserweight champion Roderick Strong at the Purge for 54. Fine enough, yeah. Yeah, fine enough. Gunther, Ludwig, Giovanni, Imperium, ready for Diamond Mine. A lot of Diamond Mine for them this week. Hopefully, good matches, those two. Hopefully. Gunther Strong, I have more faith in. Creed brothers aren't the highest rated, but still. Hopefully, it'll be decent. I'll take decent. As then we go to Triple H's office. Maybe a bit fancier than Drake Maverick's because he's Triple H. And he is there with Kevin Owens, the WWE champions, and Seth Rollins. And Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins are asking him, you know, what the hell is this? Why do we have to fight Orton and Pete Dunne tonight? We got enough to deal with. We got them at the Purge to kick their ass. Why do we have to kick their ass again tonight? And Triple H tells them to calm down, okay? Says that this is fine. He says that tonight, Owens and Rollins can work together. His two crown jewel pieces of his chosen superstars can work together and beat down on Orton and beat down and Dunne and weaken them to give them both easier times in their singles matches come the Purge. For a 97, Triple H is trying to assuage maybe some fears. They're not saying they're scared, Owens and Rollins, but you know, maybe they are. And Triple H is just trying to assuage those fears. You know, work together, beat them up, get a win, weaken them, get the wins at the Purge. It makes it sound so simple, doesn't it? It makes it sound so simple. But for now, we go to the ring for a wrestling match on the wrestling show. It is Andre Chase of Chase U. Students are ringside, of course. Bodhi, Hayward, you know, waving the flag. Thea Hail with the mic. Edris Enofe. That was very French. And Malik Blades. Oh, God. And then Damian Priest coming out. Yeah, Andre's Damian Priest. Andre Chase giving a good fight to Damian Priest. You know, he does the, what's that spelled? Chase U, elbows, I want to say. They're elbow drops. I vaguely remember them being elbow drops. But in the end, he cannot stop as Damian Priest storms to victory, hitting a big choke slam and then an even bigger reckoning on Andre Chase for a 1-2-3 for a 59. 66 Priest, 38 Chase. Yeah, it's fine. Damian Priest picking up the win. Afterwards, Damian Priest standing over on Andre Chase and staring down. And Chase U quickly charge into the ring. Edris Enofe, Malik Blade, Bodhi Hayward and Thea Hail. Edris Enofe standing at the front, all getting in between Damian Priest and Andre Chase. And Damian Priest staring down with all four of them. And then just shaking his head. And I put here, angrily laughs before walks away. And just walks away up the ramp for a 50 as Chase U check on their teacher, Mr. Chase. Beautiful. Lovely. Damian Priest does get the win over Andre Chase here in the end, though. What are you going to do? As then we go to more ridiculousness, and we go backstage to a darkened locker room. And inside is R-Truth, Akira Tozawa, and Drake Maverick. And there's some candles providing a bit of lighting, and they're all sat around, and Akira's confused, what do we do? And R-Truth's a bit confusing, but Drake Maverick's like, we put our hands on it, and they all put their hands on the little thing that Luigi or Ouija, whatever you want to call them, boards have. They'll put their hands on it, and Drake says, okay, R-Truth now, you know, we established a connection, you know, R-Truth's like, Almighty Spirit, are you with us right now to get me my baby back? And it slowly moves to yes. You know, Akira a bit freaked out, but Drake telling him not to break the connection, don't let go. So Akira begrudgingly holding on. And then R-Truth says, Almighty Spirit, do you know where my baby is? And it moves and then it goes back to yes. And R-Truth continuing even more. Is my baby here in this arena with us tonight? And it goes down to say that his princess is in another castle. And R-Truth says, oh my baby, my poor baby, Almighty Spirit, what should I do? And then the spirit starts spelling out, and it spells out, summon. And R-Truth like, well, and Drake's like, Truth, you cannot. And Truth is like, Almighty Spirit, just ignoring Drake, I summon you to help me get my baby back. Will you help me? Will you help me get my baby back? And Drake just rolling his eyes as the piece slowly moves over to let's go. Then a big puff of smoke fills the room. You know, you hear coughing from Akira and that. Like, what the hell? And then the voice says, you have summoned me. And for what? And R-Truth's like, oh please, I need to get my baby back. And Drake's like, what the hell is that, Truth? that does not look good. And then the voice says, trust me, I am very, very nice. Very, very nice. Not evil, no evil. Maybe very, very evil too. R-Truth's like, will you help me? Help me get my baby back, please. And the voice says, I will help you, but you must give me something in return. R-Truth says, anything. I'll give you however much money you want. And then the voice says, money? And R-Truth says, yes, I can make you very rich. Very rich. For my baby. Anything for my baby. And the voice says, lots of money, yes. Yes. Oh, sorry. Yeah, my name is Danhausen, and I can help you get your baby back. But you have the money, yes? You can give Danhausen the money for the baby, okay? And R-Truth's just like, okay. And Drake's like, huh? And Akira's just kind of going with it. Also very confused though. And R-Truth acting like it's the most normal thing in the world. And R-Truth's just like, yes, I can get you the money, okay? You just help me get my baby back. And then Danhausen. I've had this scene in my mind for a while, and it is very silly. Saying, yes, okay, let's go get your baby back, and then you give Danhausen the money, yes. And then Danhausen's, prancing off R-Truth following. Drake just looking over at Kira, and then just shaking his head as the segment ends for a 39. Oh my god, I love the stupid segments. This was 6 minutes, Jesus Christ. Oh, this was about 5-6 minutes, I love that. Good. Yeah, R-Truth has summoned a very nice but very evil demon and promised him lots of money in exchange for getting his baby back. Which is nice. Danhausen's debuted Danhausen gimmick. He got a rating of awful. No taste. TEW has no taste. Who cares what they say? God. It's not even time for a match. God. We go to the men's locker room. No, we don't. We go to the interviews. Kayla Braxton interviewing Randy Orton and Pete Dunne heading into their match later tonight, asking him about it. Orton and Pete saying, just want to get my hands on Seth and get my hands on Kevin again as well. He's good. And then at the Purge, I can deal with Seth. And then after that, I'm going to get my WWE Championship back, like the one I won fairly at SummerSlam. Whether that's from Kevin or you, Randy. And Randy saying, Pete, tonight I get to hurt Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens, and then I get to purge my own demons and feelings at the Purge and get that WWE Championship. And then after that, Pete, if you want to go, I'll happily go. And then you just hear this very high-pitched tone entering the room, like, boys, what are we doing, huh? What are we talking about, huh? What are guys talking about? We're talking about wrestling, huh? Love wrestling. Big fan of wrestling. Speaking of wrestling, Randy, you watched my match yet? I'd love to get some pointers, get some tips. Legend killer, big fan, greatest of all time, I say, huh? Randy saying, Austin, we're just doing an interview for our match later, which I've been busy getting ready for all week, so I know I haven't had time to watch our match, sadly. Where he's like, oh, that's fine, doesn't matter. I didn't care. It doesn't matter. It's fine. I'm just, you know what? That's crazy. I'm just going to help my other friends anyway. So I'll just go. And Pete just walks away, and Randy and Pete just looking at him, and Pete just says, "What an idiot." Before Randy and Pete walk away. Oh, Theory. 87 for the segment. Oh. Am I making Theory somewhat likable? Let me know. Let me know. You're feeling sorry for him. He just wants to be one of the boys. One of the boys. One of the gang. Oh. Then we actually go to the wrestle. How long has it been since it's been like a while since a match, hasn't it? It's been a minute. Like 10 of them, maybe. God, let's go back to the wrestling on the wrestling show. Dolph Ziggler, James Storm. Robert Roode's watching on. Dolph Ziggler's back in action, looking for some revenge on James Storm before his match with Robert Roode at the Purge. And in the end, a zigzag gives Dolph the win for a 64. Pretty decent. 66 Dolph, 51 James. Happy with that. Dolph Ziggler does get the big win in his comeback after the match. Robert Roode attacks him from behind, but Dolph Ziggler fighting back into it. Massive brawl between the former partners, Ziggler and Rude, battling it out. Security rushes down to separate them. You know, you get this, they're both dragged to their opposite corners, just shouting at each other from across the ring for a 59. Happy, you know. Hopefully this match will be good. Fingers crossed. I don't have like the highest hopes anyways. I'm thinking maybe in the high 60s, 70s, low 70s, maybe. But yeah, hopefully be good. Ziggler Rude. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. But let's head towards the main event, shall we? We have a little bit of a promo for the Intercontinental Championship Fatal 4-Way. The Elimination Fatal 4-Way. I think it's the first time I'm mentioning that as well. Giving all the men a proper chance, okay? Last man standing gets that title and can cash in at Survivor Series if they want. McIntyre, Garza, and Gable and Andrade all speak their piece. They all want that title. They all want to be an Intercontinental Champion to go for that WWE Championship, okay? Garza, the title he says he never should have lost all those years last year at SummerSlam. Gable finally wanting to climb that final step to the top of the mountain to the WWE Championship. Andrade says he was chosen by Triple H for a reason. Because he is the best Mexican export of this century, as Triple H himself said. And Andrade says it's time to win the Intercontinental title and go to the WWE title. And Drew McIntyre is saying that he was the chosen one before any of them. Drew McIntyre is saying he has this title, he won this title, and saying he will bleed before he loses this title. Drew says that this is it. The final opportunity to separate the men from the boys. And he says he's the biggest man around. For a 100. Good. McIntyre, Garza, Gable, Andrade. Very good Fatal 4-Way, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Who will go into Intercontinental Champion? Have to wait and see. We follow up with a little rundown of the rest of the Purge. As always, go home show. I'll go over the pay-per-views, match cards at the end of this video, and then match card video separately on Thursday. You know the drill at this point. But yeah, big matches at the Purge. God, that Fatal 4-Way. Ziggler, Rude, Gunther, Roderick Strong, Raw Tag Titles, Cole and Balor versus MJF and Riddle, Io Sky and Alexa Bliss for the Women's World Title, Randy Orton and Pete Dunne in a stipulation match. Let me know. Hell, it's not Halloween Havoc, but it's Halloween Havoc adjacent. Spin the wheel, make a deal. And Kevin Owens, Randy Orton in a Purge match, which, you know, is pretty much just a no disqualification match by a different name. But if WWE can do that, so can I. Kevin Owens and Randy Orton in a Purge match for a 100. Very good rating. And sets us up very beautifully for the main event. Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins versus Randy Orton and Pete Dunne. Those four men, you know, looking to get some anger out. Looking to get some of the anger out before their match. Weaken their opponent before their match. A massive main event, which will hopefully get a good rating. Fingers crossed. Owens and Rollins versus Orton and Dunne. Big battle. Goes on plus 20 minutes. All four men battling it out. In the end, Kevin Owens and Pete Dunne fighting it out, just like SummerSlam. Pete Dunne going for a bitter end. Kevin Owens turns, you know, he spins Kevin Owens around, he kicks him up, and he goes for a stunner, but Pete Dunne shoves him off. Kevin Owens into the corner, immediately right at Pete Dunne, but no one see, well, Pete doesn't see, no one doesn't see. Seth tag himself in covertly. Owens straight at Pete Dunne, as Pete Dunne hits a bitter end and covers Kevin Owens. You know, the referee's like, you're not legal. Pete's just looking around like, what? And out of nowhere, Seth flies in with a curb stomp to Pete Dunne, taking him out. Flips him off Kevin Owens and covers him for the 1, 2, 3. Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins pick up the win here for a 92, which is pretty good. Kevin and Seth don't work well as a team together, but I mean, there was little communication at the end, so I guess that makes sense. They're both big personalities, shall we say. Seth Rollins pins Pete Dunne, perhaps a preview for the Purge, maybe, and picks up the win here for his team for a 92. And Kevin and Seth argue a bit, you know. Kevin's like, why the hell did you let him hit the better end on me? And Seth's just like, don't worry. That was so Dan. That's just Seth's laugh, though. You know, Seth's just happy, saying, I got the win. I got the win. And Orton, you know, tells Pete Dunne out the ring. And they're both just left to watch on for a 100. As, yeah, Raw ends on the go-home training against a Purge with Owens and Rollins standing tall. But not so much together. For a 95, very good show. Good matches. I mean, 92 in the main event and 99 in that big sex-man tag banger. And R-Truth summoned Danhausen, which, let's all be honest with ourselves, is the real highlight of this show. R-Truth summoned Danhausen. Who thought you could ever say that sentence? But Monday Night Raw has come to an end in the go-home. Heading into the Purge, But the Purge isn't the only premium live event special. We also have Halloween Havoc on the NXT and SmackDown side of things. So let's start with the go-home shows, heading into that, the first of two, with another episode of NXT. And NXT gets underway with William Regal in his office, just making a big announcement, a massive match announcement for tonight. A massive Halloween Havoc go-home main event. LA Knight, Socrates Torres, and Alfonso Bourbon, the Golden Guards, the NXT and Cruiserweight Tag Team Champions, taking on Johnny Gargano and the Mysterios after that big brawl that ended last week. So yeah, Gargano and Knight fighting Halloween Havoc, the Mysterios and Spanish Fly fighting with Legado as well in that Cruiserweight Tag Title. A triple threat tag team match, so big 6-man tag heading into that. 79. Yeah, just a nice little opener things. And hopefully a good main event. Fingers crossed. Then we kick off with a big match that's been building, actually. It's Jade Cargill taking on Toni Storm. It's been building, it's been bubbling. Both women wanting this match and finally getting it here and now. Cargill versus Storm in the end. Both women give it everything they got. But it is Jade Cargill who picks up the win over Toni Storm in the end for a 60, which is fine. 57 Toni, 51 Jade. Happy with that. Jade Cargill does get the best of Toni Storm. After the match, Toni getting to her feet, not looking happy. You know, Jade's arms raised. Toni turns her around. Her and Jade looking at each other. A bit of a stare down, but then they shake hands, okay? A bit of respect from 79. Good. Both of them faces, so yeah, just a bit of respect afterwards. It's been building. Jade wanted to beat Toni. She's done it. And then a bit of respect. As then it's time for the hottest talk show in WWE, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for the Grayson Waller effect. And Grayson Waller's in the ring with a buffer than your boyfriend, his hashtag trending partners. And he says, welcome to the Grayson Waller effect. Okay, I don't know where the hell Ethan and Reggie got to, but who cares, because right now the show is about me. The Grayson Waller effect, the hottest show in sports entertainment, here with the lovely Purge and Tiffany. And ladies and gentlemen, I got my special guest for tonight. They're a team that returned last week, the Blackheart World Tank Express. Shotzi and Indy coming out on their tank, and Grayson welcoming them. You know, Shotzi and Indy asking, how's it feel to make your comeback last week? And Shotzi and Indy start to talk, and he says, actually, wait. No, something bigger happened last week. Let's talk about that. Let me rephrase. How does it feel to have made your comeback last week on the same show that Grayson Waller picked up a win on? And Shotzi and Indy kind of rolling their eyes at that. Buffer than your boyfriend stepping in as well, not too happy, saying like, oh my god, like, you two, like, aren't good. Like, that tank is, like, so not shui. Oh, jeez. Bit of an argument for 51 on the Grayson Waller effect into a tag team match next. Buffing and your boyfriend, Tiffany and Persia, taking on the Blackheart World Tank Express. Grayson Waller at ringside, having a nice time. And then, at one point, Grayson Waller's just walking around the ring, hyping things up. And then he turns around and he sees Dexter Lumis, you know, on his fists. You know how he moves on the ground, like he the slivers. Come out from under the ring and look right at him. Grayson Waller's a bit freaked out as Lumis quickly starts approaching. Lumis getting to his feet, and Grayson Waller running the hell away. And Persia and Tiffany watching as Grayson Waller sprints away. Dexter following in pursuit. Like, what the hell is he doing? And the distraction in the end allows the Blackheart World Tank Express to pick up the win. Shotzi pinning Tiffany with a missile driver for a 52. Yeah, decent little match. 55 Persia, 50 Shotzi, 47 Indy, 42 Tiffany. Happy with that. The Blackheart World Tank Express pick up the victory here. Good for them. Good for them. As then we go to an interview from Kayla Braxton, interviewing Next Gen, asking them about Toxic Attraction and all of that. And Annie Cooper saying, you know, it's good to be back. She's been waiting, she's been preparing, training. Candice said not to rush it, but with Candice getting injured like that, she knew she had to come back as soon as possible because, you know, everything Candice has done for her, training her, mentoring her, she wanted to step up and, you know, defend her. And Toxic running around like they own the place, it's not good. And Annie, Cora, and Roxanne all agree that it's best someone finally deals with Toxic Attraction for 49. Good. Nice. Yeah. 49. Decent. Decent. As then we go to the ring and we go to Tricky Williams. And my swat there with Tricky. And Tricky saying, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for all y'all's favorite part of the week. Because your boy, Trick Williams, is in action. And ladies and gentlemen, I got a real doozy for you this week. I have fought some incredible talent. I have fought a multi-time black belt. And I have fought an Olympic qualifying level boxer. But tonight, I take on my toughest challenge of all, in the form of not just one, but two opponents. Ladies and gentlemen, my opponents are an elite tag team. A couple of young stags, you could say. They have wrestled all over the world in such companies as ROH, some companies in Japan, and ladies and gentlemen, let's just say that these brothers that I am taking on truly define that word I said earlier, elite. Ladies and gentlemen, may I introduce my opponents, Matvey and Nikolai Jackson. Yeah, two little people come out. Hell, they got trousers on. They can have tassels on them if you want. Ready for Trick's match against the famous Jackson brothers who have wrestled all over the world. And in the end, Trick Williams does pick up the victory for a 37, which is fine. He hits Nikolai. He hits Nick Olai Jackson with the tricky kick for the 37, 36. Jesus Christ, Nikolai. Nikolai and Matvey doing very well actually. 36, 31, 29 tricky. But Trick does pick up the victory here. Trick Williams on a roll. What can you say? As then we go backstage. Grayson Waller a bit frantic, hurrying around, you know, in a panic. Bumps into Buff and your boyfriend, asks where he's been. Okay, what the hell was that? Why'd you just run away like that? Like, oh my god, Grayson, that was so not shui of you. And Grayson saying, you didn't see him? That lunatic, that big mustached lunatic chasing after me. Grayson will just look around and then he sees down the corridor Dexter Loomis slowly walking towards him. Grayson Waller panics and he just says sorry, and then he just shoves Purge and Tiffany in the way and he just starts sprinting off. And Purge and Tiffany are like, oh my god, that was like so not shui of him for a 51. Just fine, yeah, which is fine. Yeah, 51, fine. As then we go back to Kayla Braxton. Oh, I love when the show goes back to Kayla Braxton. Kayla Braxton's just very good. And she's interviewing Johnny Gargano and the Mysterios, asking them about the main event and about Halloween Havoc. And, you know, Gargano thanks the Mysterios for coming to his aid last week, and Gargano says that tonight he gets the team with the Mysterios to teach a lesson to the Golden Gods together, and then come Halloween Havoc, Johnny Gargano says he is heavily has faith that him and the Mysterios can come up on top, and that NXT can get some representatives, you know, with that championship gold that deserves it, unlike the Golden Gods for an 81. The three men are ready. Those three men are ready for the Golden Gods tonight, and then the Golden Gods come Halloween Havoc. Beautiful. Then We go to a tag team match as advertised last week. The Creed brothers with the Diamond Mine coming out first. You know, Roddy, Ivy, Taz, Malcolm all at ringside. As then comes out from Monday Night Raw, Imperium, the European champion, Gunther, at ringside for them. And the four men battling out. The Creed brothers putting on an impressive display. They're still very early in their career. Imperium, Ludwig and Giovanni, much more experienced. And in the end, that experience maybe plays a part as Imperium pick up the win. Ludwig Kaiser pins Brutus Creed with the European bomb. For 73 is a very good match, actually. 76 Giovanni, 68 Ludwig, 50 Brutus, 47 Julius. Yeah, looking at those in-ring performances, a 73, very, very good. Very happy with that. Creed brothers putting on a good display, but it is Imperium who pick up the win in the end. As after the match, Gunther and Roderick Strong both get in the ring. You know, Malcolm Bivens standing behind Roderick Strong. Strong cruiserweight title over his shoulder. Gunther, European title over his. And they both raise their championships in the air. Or, you know, Gunther just stands there doing the Imperium Pose Championship over his shoulder, whilst Roderick Strong raises the cruiserweight title in the air. Yeah, 68. Good. Nice. Decent little match. It's a surprisingly good match, actually. And then, yeah, 68. Happy with the post. Happy with the post as well. Then we go back to Kayla Braxton. Can you tell I liked it? Yeah, get Kayla Braxton on the show as much as possible. Hell. Kayla Braxton interviewing Legado. Zelina Vega, Santos Escobar, and Humberto Carrillo. And Zelina saying that if the Mysterios and Spanish Fly want to occupy themselves with each other, that's fine. If they want to pretend that Legado aren't dead, that's fine. They'll make it all the more sweeter when Legado go to Halloween Havoc and regain their Cruiserweight Tag Team Championships. For 64. Yeah. The Mysterios and the Spanish Fly maybe focusing on each other quite a bit, as Zelina points out, and Legado were in the match, and Legado are a good team, so hey, maybe don't do that. Good. As then next up, we have a match. Annie Cooper in action again, not going to show what she can do, and get back in the swing of things, maybe get off some last minute rust before her match with Mandy Rose come Halloween Havoc against Wendy Chu here. Her debut, I want to say. Wendy Chu debut. And in the end, Annie Cooper does pick up the window for a 34, which is fine. 43 Wendy Chu, 39 Annie. Annie Cooper with a super kick in the end gives her the victory here. Yeah, Annie Cooper gets the win, yeah. Just wanted to give her a little match. Get rid of any last minute rust for Halloween Havoc, you know. As then we immediately cut to the Toxic Lounge and Toxic Attraction in there, watching their TV. You know, how you can have Next Gen are in the ring, you know, Team 2001 get in and raise Annie Cooper's hands, and then you have Toxic appear on the Titantron and say, oh girls, it's so sweet that you would go to Candice's aid like that, but honeys, no. You see, you are just girls, and we are women. And that's why, even though JC's hurts, Toxic will keep all their gold, because at Halloween Havoc, me, Mandy Rose, the head of NXT, the top of the women's division, will happily beat Team 2001 with Gigi here, and then little Annie, well, I'll happily beat you too for an 89. JC's still injured, sadly. God, this game doesn't like JC. I've had her injured in both my main saves recently. So Mandy will be doing double duty, but she sounds confident of it at the very least. So, you know, I mean, Mandy Rose is never short for confidence, is he? So, yeah. 89. Jesus Christ, 89. I didn't even acknowledge that. Mandy Rose is getting very good in her, like, mic and entertainment skills. She's doing very well. 89. Well done, Mandy. Well done. As, oh boy. Then we go backstage. Oh, God. And we go to, well, we have Toni Storm walking around. She's, you know, not happy. She lost her match. She wanted to win. Yeah, she's disappointed. And then you hear, well, Toni, surprised seeing you here. I was just walking around back here, you know. I was just stretching out after my match earlier. Fought in a handicap. Kind of a big deal, honestly. Big worldwide tag team But that's just what Tricky Willie does. Now I saw it didn't go too well for you earlier, but you know, you come under the Trick Williams big booty baddie brand, you get some Trick Willie mentor and some real hands-on one-on-one time, and I think I could really mold you into something. You can just see Tony getting visibly frustrated. As Trick says, so what you think, huh? You ready to become a big booty baddie? And Tony says, enough. Okay, she shouts. She says, Trick, I've tried to be patient, I've tried to be, you know, reasonable, but you'll clearly not get the message. I'm going to make this very clear. I will, gets right in his face, never join you, and I will, gets in his face even more, never be one of your big booty baddies, okay? Just get the message already. And Tony just storms off, and you see a sad Trick, and then Marseille and Mansoir behind him are like, should we check on him? And then, you know, you Trick sad, and you just see someone slowly approaching him. Yes. And then Trick has rolled up. 1, 2, 3. And then Trick just on his knees, very sad, and you see pop up, yes, Danhausen got the baby blood, yes. I get so Gollum, my Danhausen, I feel like. But Danhausen rolls up Trick and wins the 24/7 championship. He's just that good. Danhausen debuts on Monday, and he's already won a title come Wednesday. He's just that good. Danhausen, you know, want to take the baby and get all the money, yes, very rich, very rich. Danhausen, you know, I was about to say running, that's not the word I'm looking for, prancing into the distance, I don't know, and Trick just on the floor sad, you know, oh, this ain't working out for Tricky Willie, maybe this was the wrong idea, maybe this isn't what Tricky Willie's meant to do, maybe the big booty baddies isn't it, and the second I thought of this idea, I thought, God, Connell's gonna like this, isn't he? And then, okay, you just hear a voice saying, excuse me, do you boys know the way to William Regal's office? And Marseille Mansoir start talking to this person, and Trick's on the floor. I just don't know what to do. I just don't know what's right. Please, God, give me a sign. And then he looks up. And then he sees, and I cannot describe this enough, he sees the most bootylicious booty he's ever seen. Okay, it's as if God's heavenly light is shining down around this firm but still jiggling ass. Okay, it's the most incredible thing that Trick Williams has ever seen. Okay, it's like the statue of David had a baby with Da Vinci or something, with the Mona Lisa, and this was their child's ass, you know? So Trick Williams jumps to his feet and says, well, hello, and barges past Marseille Mansoir. Hello, my name's Trick Williams, and Trick Williams, big booty baddies, owner, founder, and head proprietor. And who might you be? And then she says, oh, hi, my name's Cassidy Rain. And Cassidy Rain, the rebranded Jamie Hater here. And Trick says, I'm sorry, could you say that again? She says, my name's Cassidy Rain. And Trick says, did you say your name's Eddie Rain? She says, well, I don't know why you said it like that, but yes, my name's Cassidy Rain. Do you know the way to William Regal's office? Trick says, no, don't worry about that. Come, walk with Tricky. Tricky will show you the way. Let's talk. Tricky's got a proposition for you. And Trick Williams and Cassidy Rain walks off. You know, he puts his arm around her and starts leading her. And Marseille Mansoir rolling their eyes and following after for a 42. Oh, good. Tony Storm turning down, you know, rather aggressively turning down Trick Williams, you know, offer. Danhausen rolling him up from behind and winning the 24/7 title. Trick Williams left with nothing, but then God sends an angel's ass in his way in the form of Cassidy Rain here for that 42. It's beautiful. When I thought of this segment all those months ago, yeah, 42, good, yeah, maybe time to move on from Tony and look at another big booty As I phrased here, Trixie's the biggest booty. God. I love it. I love it. What is next? Kayla Braxton interviewing. Kayla Braxton interviewing the Golden Gods of NXT, LA Knight, and Spanish Fly, Socrates Torres, and Alfonso Bourbon. And then I says, let me talk to you, Kayla. You ask if I'm worried, we're not worried. We're gonna go out there and kick Johnny, Ray, and Dominic's asses tonight. And then come Halloween Havoc, we're gonna do it all over again, and Socrates and Alfonso here, they're gonna kick Legato's asses as well, because they ain't forgot about them. They just were never on their mind to begin with. And I'm gonna kick Johnny's ass all over again, I'm gonna love every second of it. Because at the end of the day, the Golden Gods are gonna stay on top of NXT with all the championship around our waist. And that is just a fact of life. Yeah! For a 97. LA's just very good, isn't he? He's just very good. His mic is just very good, isn't it? 97. Great. Great. As then we go to the ring. Hit Row come out. Hit Row, B-Fab, Top Dollar, and Ashanti D. Adonis. And their opponents, Heavy Machinery of the Family. Tony, Harland, Madcap. All of them. Don Wagner, the whole gabagool coming out with them. For Otis, the Bulldozovich, and Tucker Knight. Heavy Machinery versus Hit Row here. Hit Row become a decent work in their maybe their first match. It might be. They might have had another on NXT at some point, but I can't remember it. So yeah, first match maybe. And Heavy Machinery though. Otis and Tucker, an experienced tag team, been teaming together and wrestling in NXT and WWE for years, and maybe that advantage, and maybe, you know, the army of people at ringside plays a part as Otis and Tucker do pick up the win. Otis, the Bulldozovich, pins Top Dollar for a 55. 56 Ashanti, 55 Otis, Jesus Christ Ashanti, 41 Top Dollar, 48 Tucker, Jesus Christ Ashanti, he is the Adonis, huh, 58, as Heavy Machinery pick up the win over Hit Row here. After the match, Heavy Machinery and the whole family getting involved and start attacking Hit Row. You know, beef up at ringside, Harland menacingly approaching her. When out rushes the NXT North American Champion Isaiah Swerve Scott, taken out a few weeks back by the family, by Tony, 3 weeks back even, yeah. And Swerve rushing out, steel chair in hand, smashing it into Harland's back and taking him down into the ring, fighting off the family with the steel chair. Tony's got his crowbar. Tony goes for Swerve, but Swerve ducks and smashes the chair into his chest, and he snatches the crowbar from Tony, and he looks at it, and he looks at Tony, then he just smashes the crowbar down on Tony's back. Tony dropping. It's dragged out the ring by his boys. Tony looking a bit worse for wear. Swerve checking on Top Dollar and Ashanti and B-Fab. And Swerve, you know, with the North American title, gets the mic. And he says, hey, Tony, huh? You want to go? You want to take this title from me? You can go ahead and try, huh? Hell, you want to use this crowbar so much? Let's use this crowbar then, huh? How about this? You, me, Halloween Havoc. NXT North American title. We put this crowbar of yours up on a pole, and you watch me drag it down and beat your ass with it for a 75. Good. Hopefully a good match. Otis and Tony. Not Otis. Isaiah and Tony. Hopefully. I'm just still surprised by how good in ring Ashanti is already. Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. Okay. Everybody, pretend that that's Harland. And if possible, pretend you never saw Hangman Adam Page here, okay? Let's pretend. I could edit him out, but I'm too lazy, so yeah. Let's pretend this is Harland, huh? Okay? I mean, spoiler, I have signed Hangman Adam Page. You know, he's not debuting for a minute, but I guess this is your hey, your initial rating. Great, that's great. Yeah, Hangman Adam Page is here. A little preview, maybe, of this beautiful little thing. Yeah. Oh my god, I've putting too many bloody quote mark people. That's Harland. It's meant to be Harland, but yeah, I guess this is your spoiler that I have signed Adam Page. God knows when he's debuting, but yeah, he's here. 75. Good. Good. As then, yeah, we go to the main event. Golden Gods versus the Gargano and the Mysterios. 6-man tag team match. All going out, you know, high speed antics, taking each other out, high flying. The Mysterios jumping high to take out people at ringside. In the end, though, it is Johnny Gargano and Mysterios picking up the win. Gargano forcing Socrates Torres to tap out with the Gargano escaper in 84. which is a decent little match. 95 Gargano, 92 LA Knight, 84 Socrates, 79 Ray, 63 Alfonso, 62 Dom. Happy. Johnny and the Mysterios pick up the win here for that 84, but, you know, the joy doesn't last long after the match. LA Knight straight in the ring to attack Johnny. Then, you know, Ray and Dom getting in to try and help Donnie, the Spanish Flyer, getting in and attacking the Mysterios. A big fight. You know, rushes out Legado as well to get involved. Massive brawl between the members of the NXT Championship and the Cruiserweight Tag Team Championship match here. But it ends with Garganos and Mysterios kicking their opponents all out the ring and standing tall for a 100. The faces, you know, stand tall heading into Halloween Havoc for that 100. Good. Good end to the show. A good go-home show, I think, here. Overall rating of 89, yeah. Happy with that. Happy with that, you know. I gotta do silly stuff like Grayson Waller with Dexter Loomis and 5 minutes of Trick Williams trying to recruit Tony, getting shouted at, getting pinned, being sad, and then seeing that heavenly booty of Cassidy Rain, aka Jamie Hayter, for that 89. Good show, good show. As NXT's come to a close, and there's only one show left before we get to Halloween Havoc and the Purge. So let's jump into it, shall we? It's time for another episode of Smackdown. And Smackdown gets underway with Roman Reigns in the Bloodlines locker room. You have Paul Heyman, Jey Uso, Solo, Marshall, Ross, all there. Everyone except Braun there. And a minute, you know, Paul by his side, Jey squirming behind him, Solo with the Von Erichs on the couch. And Roman says, Edge, I see you running your mouth still. I see you saying that the Tribal Chief's Judgment Day's coming. Come Halloween Havoc. And Edge, I think that's funny. Because you know what's the thing, Edge? Is that come Halloween Havoc, my Judgment Day isn't coming. You know what day is coming, Edge? Your final day. Because you see, Edge, you want it to be tables, ladders, and chairs. We can play that game. I don't care. You see, if there's tables, ladders, and chairs, all that's going to happen is that I'm going to take those chairs and I'm going to smash you with them. I'm going to take those tables and I'm going to stack you up all nicely on top of them. And then I'm going to put you through them whilst I'm climbing to the top of that ladder and pulling down my WWE Universal Championship, because I'm the head of the table. I'm the Tribal Chief, and if you're lucky, Edge, you'll still be walking after this match. You see, my Roman Empire is just getting started. And that has me at the head as the Universal Champion. That has Braun. With that United States Championship, he's going to win come Halloween Havoc. That has Marshall and Ross and Solo here. And Jay and Paul, all of them. Because you see, my Judgment Day's not coming anytime soon, because I'm the only judge around here. And at Halloween Havoc, Edge, it's time for your execution. For 100. Very good. Very good opening promo from Roman. As always. It's always good as Roman. He's just really good on the mic. And after we go immediately to the ring for a match. Roman mentioning him not being there because he's got to get ready for action immediately. It's Braun Breaker taking on Fandango. Tyler Breeze, United States Champion at ringside for his partner. Braun Breaker, of course, attacking Breezango after their match last week with the Von Erichs. And now, yeah, as Roman confirms, Braun Breaker taking on Tyler Breeze. Come Halloween Havoc for the United States Championship now. Braun Breaker in action against Tyler Breeze's tag team partner for now, Fandango. And in the end, Braun Breaker does pick up the win for a 67. They didn't click. Made for an awkward bout. Unlucky. 65 Braun, 49 Fandango, yeah. It's fine enough as Braun Breaker does pick up the win over Fandango, and then immediately after the match, Tyler Breeze into the ring and getting in Braun Breaker's face. You know, Braun Breaker goes to attack Fandango some more whilst looking at Tyler. Tyler in the ring. Braun Breaker goes for a clothesline on Tyler, but Tyler ducks underneath and managed to hit the supermodel kick onto Braun Breaker, sending him out of the ring for a 96. Yeah, nice little post-match. Braun going for Tyler. but Tyler managing to get the better of Bron Breakker on this occasion and put him out of the ring. And if Tyler can, you know, hit a few supermodel kicks come Halloween Havoc, he might have it. Maybe. He might be able to yoink and steal it. Maybe. Bron Breakker. Very tough, though. Strong guy. 96. Good segment. As then, we go backstage and we go to the locker room with Bronson Reed and Samoa Joe. And Bronson Reed and Samoa Joe are arguing, really. Arguing over who will be in action later tonight. Later on tonight, one of these men will take on Karrion Kross. And they're both arguing. Both men want the match. Samoa Joe is getting agitated. Samoa Joe's angry. He wants this. He says he needs this. In the end, Bronson Reed tells Joe that, look, you're too angry right now, okay? You need to go blow off some steam in some other way. And for tonight, I'll deal with Karrion Kross for that 91. Yeah. Bronson Reed, the one who will be taking on Karrion Kross later tonight. Choice that Samoa Joe clearly not 100% okay with. 91 though. Good segment. As we go to the ring, and we go to a Mr. Joe Gacy. Joe Gacy is spreading his message again of peace and of love. Peace and love that could save the world. And Joe says that tonight he is in action. He can show what he can do on the grand stage of Smackdown and get all eyes on him to hear his message. After that, he has found an opponent, offered an opportunity to a young superstar looking to make a name for himself. And Joe Gacy asks, "What is your name, young sir?" And the guy leans into the mic and he says, "Bend over." And Joe Gacy says, "Young bend over. Tonight you have the upper..." And then you can just hear in the background. And Joe Gacy just carrying on. "The opportunity to..." What? Did I say something funny, young Ben? And Ben's just like, "You dork. My name's not Bend Over. Bend Over, do you get it?" And Joe Gacy does not look impressed. And neither does Braun. Braun starts to stomp towards Bend Over. But Joe's stopping him, you know, telling him to calm down and get out of the ring, which he does for a 61, as Joe Gacy then proceeds to beat the hell out of Bend Over for trying to pull one over on him like that. Joe Gacy angry, getting that anger out, you know, getting your anger out is the best course to peace. Joe Gacy picks up the win in the end for 33, which is fine. 43 Joe, 31 for Bend Over here. As Joe Gacy does, in the end, pick up the victory. It's definitely not his Smackdown debut, but he does pick up a victory here. So yeah, that's of note, at the very least, it's of note. As then we go backstage to a General Manager Adam Pearce's office. And General Manager Adam Pearce is, you know, with the 4 women who will be in the $1 million championship match come Halloween Havoc. The champion Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, Liv Morgan, and Paige. And he's got some names in a hat. Yep. You'd think it might be like he's, you know, more modern than that, but no, literal names in a hat. And he offers the hat to Rhea, and he says, "Draw out one of the names, and that is who you will be facing tonight, and then the other 2 names will face as well, to give all you women, you know, some action tonight. Get any rust or anything you might have off before your matches at Halloween Havoc, and a chance to scout each other out as well." And Rhea reaches in, and she pulls out the name Bianca Belair. And so it'll be Rhea versus Bianca and Liv versus Paige. And Adam asking Rhea, what is the stipulation going to be for your match at Halloween Havoc? And Rhea says that she'll let him know. She'll deal with Bianca, and then she'll let him know for an 86. Decent. Hopefully some decent matches there as well. Liv versus Paige, and Bianca versus Rhea. Bianca Rhea's always lovely, isn't it? Hopefully some decent little matches. As then Bronson Reed and Samoa Joe make their entrance. Samoa Joe still looking very angry, but he will not be in action. Bronson Reed will be when Scarlett comes onto the Titantron. And Scarlett says, "Oh, boys. Bronson, I hear you so excited to take on Karrion, but tonight you do not get Karrion." And you do not get Bray. And you do not get The Fiend. You instead get something even worse. The Fiend's favourite pet. As then out comes Scarlett, bringing along with her Relic, you know, bringing him by his collar, bringing the Relic out with her for an 84. Boy, we have the Relic taking on Bronson Reed here. The Relic and Bronson Reed being hell at each other at points. Mojo just gets very angry and just storms up the ramp. Bronson Reed out there alone as him and the Relic fighting it out. In the end, Bronson Reed putting the Relic down and climbing to the top rope, ready to hit that tsunami. When the lights go out, the referee down, and when they come back on, the Fiend in the ring. And Bronson Reed quickly down off the ropes and starts fighting with the Fiend, battling it out when the Fiend manages to drop Bronson Reed out of nowhere. Bronson Reed down, and the Relic to his feet as the Fiend looks down at him with anger. Relic, you know, out of nowhere, just powering to his feet and just grabbing Bronson Reed from behind whilst he's on the floor and locking in that cross jacket. And in the end, the referee comes to, the Fiend is gone, the lights have gone out, and the Fiend and Scarlett are both gone. And the Relic has that hold on Bronson Reed. And Bronson Reed does not tap out, but he does pass out as the ref calls for the bell for a 77. Which is decent. 77 Reed, 78 Relic. Decent little match as the Relic does come out on top thanks to maybe, you know, a bit more than a little bit of assistance from the Fiend here. Nice. Lights go out, Relic's gone as well. Afterwards. Before we go to a favourite place, beautiful darkened room. Who doesn't love a darkened room, huh? Of course, Edge in there. No Judgment Day brothers in there, just Edge. And Edge saying to Roman that he's known Roman for a long time. And he knows that this bravado and this act Roman's putting on, Tribal Chief head of the table, is a cover. A shield. As old Roman would say, Edge saying that Roman always needed a shield, after all, to get anywhere. And Edge saying that he knows that Roman isn't afraid, but Edge says he isn't afraid of Roman. And he says if Roman isn't afraid, he's an idiot, because he should be. Because not only is it Edge, but it's TLC. Edge says that in TLC, he reigns supreme. In TLC, he is at the top of his game. Edge says nobody does TLC like him. And those TLC matches where Edge dominated and destroyed, those were old Edge. Those weren't this Edge. But now this Edge is here. And so come Halloween Havoc, like it or not, Roman's Judgment Day will arrive. And Edge will reign as Universal Champion for 96. Another good little promo. A lot of good promos. Yeah, Edge and Roman neither need to like have a match or anything, but one of them on the show, do the little talky promos, and then their match at Halloween Havoc TLC. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it will be good. Fingers crossed. I hope you've got your fingers crossed wherever you're watching this, because I've got mine crossed. So you better too. Then we go to the men's locker room, and Mustafa Ali is in there alone. You know, looking sad. You know. Looking sad, a bit beat up. He's been in a few battles these past 3 weeks. When walks in Kofi and Big E. And Kofi tells Mustafa not to say anything and saying that this doesn't mean I forgive you. Okay, after everything you did, it's not going to be that easy. But I did want to say thank you for the save last week. Mustafa saying that, you know, no thanks, not for serious. It's okay, you know. I owe you. And so I had to do it. I had to do it. Okay. And Kofi saying thank you for an 81. Yeah. Still not forgiving Mustafa Ali fully, but thanking him for the assistance and the save he made from Kofi getting attacked by Alistair last week. Later tonight, Kofi and Big E taking on Ciampa and Black 2-on-2. Hopefully another banger. Hopefully a really good match from the pair. 81 for that, though, is good. And it moves the show along. So those women's matches set earlier. First of all, Liv Morgan versus Paige. Liv Morgan's still bad, you know, got some bandages and bruised, beaten up. Match with Charlotte even earlier, some attacks from Charlotte and that as well. Liv Morgan in a bit of pain but powering on because it's Liv Morgan, you know. She's the underdog, but she's going to keep going against the odds. And she's against Paige. Bianca and Rhea watching at ringside, scout out their opponents, but also getting ready for their match immediately after. And in the end, in this match, it is Paige who hits the Rampage onto Liv Morgan and gets the 1, 2, 3 for a 76. 76 Liv, 71 Paige. Good. Happy with that. Paige picks up the win in the end over Liv. Before Liv and Paige leave, Bianca and Rhea get in, and then Bianca Belair versus Rhea Ripley. Both women battling it out. In the end, Rhea Ripley sets up for the Riptide, but Bianca, she lifts Bianca up, but Bianca rolls forward, and Rhea rolling with her, and in the end, Bianca rolling Rhea Ripley up, and picking up the win for a 79. Bianca Belair pinning the women's, the $1 million champion. 75 Bianca, 72 Rhea. Yeah, happy with that. Bianca Belair and Paige picking up the wins and the momentum heading into Halloween Havoc. But then afterwards, Bianca's celebrating in the ring. Liv and Paige at ringside. Rhea demands a mic and she gets a mic. And Rhea says it was a disgrace and it's cozy. Well, guess what? You might have got lucky there, Bianca, with your roll up. It's not going to be that way come Halloween Havoc. Because I can beat you, and you, point to all three of them, in any type of match, in any place. And so I'm going to put that to the test. Because at Halloween Havoc, it's time to spin the wheel and make a deal. For a 92, yep. It's Halloween Havoc, or have at least one of those matches, haven't you? It'll be a spin the wheel, make a deal, fatal 4-way match for the $1 million title at Halloween Havoc. And I will do a wheel to randomise what the stipulation will be. So that'll be fun. And isn't just happening because I had no idea what stipulation to make it. A 92 for that, that is good. Happy with the 92 there. As then, it's main event time actually. Yeah, it's main event time. It's the Judgment Day. Aleister Black into Tommaso Ciampa. I don't know why I say it like this. Taking on Big E and Kofi Kingston, yeah. Just a battle, okay? There's a lot of bad blood and anger between these four men right now, so it's just a battle between the two teams. In the end, Aleister Black and Kofi legal. There's a bit of a battle and banging it out. It's Ciampa taking down Kofi when he's not the legal man. Big E gets in the ring and fighting with Ciampa. Ciampa has enough in the end on the outside, pulls out a steel chair and gets in the ring. And he winds it back to hit Big E with it. But then the chair gets snatched by Mustafa Ali, pulling it down. Ciampa turns around into Big E, hits the big ending to put him down. Aleister Black in the ring though, hits the black mass on Big E to put him out. Kofi in the ring goes for Trouble in Paradise. But Aleister Black ducks underneath, and then he goes for the black mass onto Kofi, but Kofi ducks underneath, and Aleister Black fully turns around straight into a super kick from Jey Uso, which the ref does not see amongst the commotion. The super kick stunning Black and turning him around into Kofi to hit Trouble in Paradise and get the 1, 2, 3. Kofi and Big E do pick up a big victory here over the Judgment Day. Thanks to that help from Mustafa Ali stopping the chair shot and Jey Uso attacking Aleister Black as well for an 85. Good main event, 85. 94 Tommaso, 88 Aleister, and 90 Big E, 76 Kofi. Happy with that, yeah. As Black and Ciampa have great chemistry. Beautiful. As Big E and Kofi pick up a big victory. After the match, Big E and Kofi up the ramp celebrating, raising each other's hands, and then Kofi goes over to Ali and pulls him over and raises his hand as well, It's just nice. They've had turmoil on that, but, once again, thanking Ali, getting involved in the celebration. Lovely. Black and Ciampa are pissed, and Jey Uso, I put here, snivels off, skulks away, however you want to phrase it. Jey Uso walks off with some feelings in his soul, we'll say. For a 92 again, very consistent show, that's what we love. Before we have a little rundown for Halloween Havoc, stacked card, Roman Edge, TLC for the Universal title, Breeze versus Breaker for the US title, SmackDown Tag Titles, The Fiend and Cross versus Joe and Reed, Ripley versus Belair for the $1 million title, and I feel like I'm missing one. I'm definitely Ripley, Belair, Morgan and Paige for the $1 million title, and for 100, and the main event of Halloween Havoc it will be these two, Becky and Charlotte, as they come out to the ring. Becky and Charlotte making their way out for a final face-to-face, the former tag team partners, former friends, before, heading into their match at Halloween Havoc. And Becky won the Beat the Clock last week, and so she gets to pick the stipulation, and she says, Charlotte, you chose this, you wanted this, okay? I had no bad blood or ill will towards you, but if you want to go with a man, we can go. And Charlotte says that the Queen goes head to head with anyone she wants. And Becky says, alright Charlotte, if that's what you want, then we can do it. We do it my way and my rules. You say you're the Queen. You say that you're the toughest in the game. You say that your figure eight can make anyone tap out. Well, guess what? Your figure eight and my disarmor. Let's see how it plays out, shall we? Because at Halloween Havoc, Charlotte, I want my biggest weapon against yours. At Halloween Havoc, Charlotte, I want an ultimate submission match. I want 30 minutes on that clock, and I want to make you tap out as many times as I can on my way to keeping a hold of this Women's Universal Championship. Big announcement. Becky and Charlotte will be an ultimate submission match for that Women's Universal title. If you don't know what it is, it's Iron Man, but you can only get points by submission. Yeah, it's Iron Man, but submissions only. And hopefully it'll be good. Two submission experts, somewhat with Lynch and Flair, both submission finishers, who will come out on top. The lights go out as the two stare down. And when they come back on, Lynch is a bit disorientated, and Charlotte takes advantage and just hits a big boot onto Lynch, laying her out. And then Flair, locks in the figure eight. Symbolically, Becky in pain, but doesn't tap out. And Charlotte, in the end, Charlotte's getting a bit bored. Becky holding her leg, hurting her a bit, heading into Halloween Havoc as well, before Charlotte picks up and raises the Women's Universal title for a 100. Good little segment, go home segment for this match come Halloween Havoc, which is hopefully good, because it's the main event, so fingers crossed, eh? As the go home episode of Smackdown gets us a 91. Very happy with that, a lot of good stuff. Yeah, very happy. Hopefully Halloween Havoc and the Purge will be good. Fingers crossed. Episode 100. That's mad to me. Episode 100. That's crazy. That's crazy. But that is it for today. I hope you have enjoyed. If you have, and you're looking forward to Halloween Havoc and the Purge, why don't you leave a like and subscribe to see when that premium live event special pay-per-view edition episode 100 drops. And yeah, like, subscribe, and as always, I just want to say a very special thank you for watching.